May you bless these efforts. In Jesus' mighty name I have prayed. Amen. Amen. Think
Amen.
I see Pastor. Pastor is here. Hi, Pastor. Okay. Yeah. So I am going to give this moment to my sister Lois, to tell us why we are here. Maybe she's also going to tell us what kind of refreshments we're going to have. If we have to prepare cups, if we have to prepare bowels, I don't know. So over to you. Sorry, Sister Chris. I will give this time to Sister Chris Hope. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Tabet. God bless you. Family, we're all welcome once again to our career seminar. We're gathered here this evening to get impactful ideas on how we navigate about our careers. As we know, this is the time when many are transitioning in Junction, especially from MCC. So this seminar gears towards helping people to navigate around that career path, what they want to do next. And whilst doing that, maintaining the Christian values, not forgetting that whatever you do, God comes first. So sit tight, brace yourself up, as there will be impactful knowledge for us all today. Over to you, MC. Thank you once more for joining.
Hey, thank you so much, Sister Chris Hope, for that. So I hope everyone has heard why we are here, the purpose of the gathering. So we want to defrost a little bit. We want everyone to feel comfortable. I see a little bit of stiff people. I'm seeing it in the spiritual realms that there are people that are not comfortable. They are still stiff. So let's defrost. Smile for desk. Why are you scaring us? Smile, please. Yeah. We want to defrost a little bit. So I'm going to invite my sister, Sister Lois. Sister Lois, may you quickly come and let us play one or two games so that we can, we can relax and we can take it all in. Thank you, Sister Lois.
Okay. Please, can I be heard? Can I be heard, please?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can I be heard?
Yes, please. You can be heard.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we have just this simple game, and I want to please, everybody should prepare, because something that you are not expecting, and the one who is able to come out with the best this thing, I think you see me later for your handsome reward. All right. So in a quick within some second, I would like you to just think about your name. Just think about your name. If your name is 3, think about it. Your name is 2, think about it. You are going to mention your name as quickly as you have never done it before. And let's see if you'll be able to mention it correctly. Okay, so if you are ready, just unmute your mic and just mention your name as quickly as possible for us to hear you. Yeah, so this is the game. If you are ready, you just open your mic and just say your name as quickly as possible. Don't take your time. Just mention it quickly as possible. Yeah, so if you are ready, you just give, we are giving point to those who will be coming in first. Thank you very much. Yeah, so the game starts now. You have some few seconds to do that.
Eunice cover game.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Ezekiel?
LJ Penefiel.
Okay. Okay.
Ezekiel?
Okay.
Sylvester?
Joy.
Job.
Joe, that's not
LJ.
your full name. I have to mention the full name. It's like we are not understanding the meaning of mention your name as quickly as possible.
Oh,
Like,
give me
Sudan-
Ezekiel.
This is what you know.
All right.
This is
Is that all?
Sylvester, send that
I'm
one, can I
expecting
see?
to hear everybody. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So we move on to the second game, which is I'm going to mention some couple of words to you, and you should tell me how many letters you can come out from these words. So I'll mention a word. You tell me how many letters are in it. So the first word is career. How many letters are in career?
Eight.
All right, thank you. We have someone 6. Any answer that out is not taken. All right, thank you very much. Okay, and then we also have stamina. How many words are in?
7.
Huh?
7.
7 words.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Joe. We move on to shining. How many letters are there in shining?
4.
9.
6.
I didn't get you.
Shine.
Wait,
Shining.
6 letters. 6
China?
letters.
Shine. 6.
Shining. Wrong.
7.
6.
7 letters.
7.
7.
6.
It's 8. Yes, 8. Thank you very much. 7 wrong, 6 is wrong. Please kindly check.
7
All right,
letters.
thank you very much for participating. All right, so we move on to the next word, marketplace. How many letters are there in marketplace?
11.
10. 10.
11. Thank you very much. I
11.
don't know if it's Sister
11.
LJ. I can.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's me.
it is 11. Thank you. It is 11. It is 11. Okay. Then we move on to the next word, office.
5.
6. 6.
6.
All right. Thank you very much, the LJ. The next word is business.
4. Oh, no.
7. 8.
9.
8.
8 letters. 8 letters.
Let's drop let's drop the word. Let's drop it on the chat box so that you can't be saying it when we can't see anything. Sorry. Just
8.
drop the word. 8. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. I want you to we move on to the next one, which is mosaic.
6.
6.
All right. Thank you, Mr. LJ. Church.
6.
Thank you. Privacy.
7.
All right. Thank you very much. MC, do I still continue or I'll come later? Sister Chriso.
Let the MC
All
continue.
right. Okay, thank you very much. All right. So right now, this is what we are going to do. What are the most important items to pack when traveling? The most important item to pack when traveling.
Your phone.
So you can give your answers. You can be dropping your answers in the chat box, please. Okay, we have passport. Yes, passport. We need more response. The most important item to pick when traveling. We have visa. Someone say passport, someone say visa. Yeah, let's keep on dropping our answers. Someone say charger. We have water. Laundry. Money. Okay. I'm still waiting. Bible. Someone say money. Bible. We have phone. Yes, phone. Doesn't mean that we are not going to. Okay. Companion. T-row. God. All right. Yourself. That is wonderful. Someone go with. All right. Someone say inner west. Yeah, that is good. Yes, it's true. Is that all? It doesn't mean that you will not wear anything, clothes. That is good, Star LJ. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Moving to the next game on points. I want you to drop your favorite letter on the chat box. In the chat box, sorry, in the chat box. Your favorite letter. Okay, we have A, J, M, L, J, L, E. We have C, we have J. Please, let's keep on dropping. C. We have L. Someone have 4 letters. F. We have K. We have J. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Someone have J-O-B. Thank you very much. Thank you, family, for your wonderful participating. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. This question is part of the game, but it's quite, I don't know how to call it, but I'll say it. Who will you call in terms of you, like who will come to mind right now if we're in a situation right now and you need someone to call to? Whom are you going to lay on to call, or whom are you going to call? Mom, my mom, my sister.
Okay.
Family, let's drop our answers.
Okay, Sister Lois, thank you so much. But we have had so much.
All right, thank you, family. You were such amazing people. You make the game very interesting. Thank you very much. Next to the MC. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sister Lois. That was very interesting. And if we continue, we will end up playing the whole time because people love games. But don't be led astray. We started with games so that you know that where we are going, it's serious business. We are going into serious business. So we don't be misled. We are still on the path. We're talking about our careers shining in the marketplace. Wow, shining. Okay, so let's continue with our program. And right now, we are going into the deeper waters. Get ready. Pay attention, get a notebook, get a notepad, whatever that you need to jot down so that you can know that you can write down the things that you have to and you remember all the notes that you have to. Because family, this is not a kids game. We started with games just so you can be comfortable, but there is no playing here. This is life situation things. So I am going to invite my brother to introduce our next speaker. And Brother Frederick, I hope you're ready. This is your moment. Yes, please introduce to us our speaker. And soon after that, our first speaker can go ahead and speak. I don't have to come back, Yes, Brother Frederick, over to you.
Beloved, I am delighted to introduce our esteemed first speaker of today, Mr. Indo Julius. Mr. Indo is not only a distinguished professional, but also a dedicated Christian, embodying the values of integrity, service, and excellence in all he does. Mr. Indo is a Canadian citizen, originally from Cameroon. He is a devoted man, family man, living in Toronto, Canada, with his wife and 4 children. Professionally, Mr. Indo is a highly accomplished individual. He holds an MSc in Logistics and Supply Chain Management from the prestigious Shanghai Maritime University and an advanced diploma in Data Science and ICT from Metro College of Technology in Toronto. His educational background is complemented by over 5 years of experience as logistics and operational manager. Currently, Mr. Indo serves as a lecturer at the Northeast Normal University, NANU, where he inspires and mentors the next generation of leaders. His blend of academic knowledge and real-world experience makes him a valuable resource for anyone seeking to navigate their career with purpose and dignity and integrity, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Indo Julius.
Frederick, is that for me now? Okay. Thank you all very much. My fellow young people of Changchun, Jilin province. When I was thinking of coming to China, or for a while, I never thought that I would be coming to Changchun. And the way things work in the spirit, you never know. So I found myself in Changchun, and when I came in, I was looking for where to go to a church, and then still again by the Spirit of God, a friend introduced me into the church. I'm gonna say Adele introduced me to the church. We met in that Walmart somehow by coincidence, and then greeted, and I said I was from Canada and Cameroon origin, and then she said they do fellowship at the place where we attend this church service. So I said, okay, I will come and give a try. He said, you think your first step or just a first movement is the end? And I realized that I continue to come there. And why do I keep coming at Mosaic? I think that the very young people organize themselves. They're so enthusiastic and they're doing things very professionally, and I think that it's not a place to minimize. I think that you guys are doing amazing, things for yourself. And so that's really encouraging. I thought, no, this is a place I want to be. This is a place I want to share. This is a place, I may not offer you guys prayers, but I can offer some other stuff, right? The callings in many ways. And I think our most recent pastor said in the church that, to share is a kind of wisdom, right? It's not only taking. So I think, this is part of it. So, and I was called here to talk about career, and job searching. So I'm just going to go straight to the PowerPoint, not a PowerPoint, but because this is not good for a PowerPoint. It's kind of a document that you need to discuss it in a way that people will understand. PowerPoint will be small slices, and it's not going to be very good. So I did a PDF, and I'm going to share that with everyone. So again, before I get there, I think it's Lois with the game. It was very encouraging. It's like an icebreaker, and that was good again. And also with the MC, who was like encouraging everyone to put a smile on their face and be confident, And I'm gonna tell you again that you find yourself in China at this time, you find yourself at Changchun, you find yourself at what you are doing, it's an opportunity, challenges or whatever. But I believe that after our discussion today about how I'm going to talk about this career stuff, I'll be glad to see everyone online, selling themselves. So let's get there without too much delay. We don't have too much time. What is that shit again? Can I be here? Screen? Okay. Let me see. Yes, I guess everyone is on board already. And we had these 5 topics to talk about, you know, from the choice that you guys made. And I thought 3 things would be very important, you know, like writing a CV, and then also personal growth strategy for career advancement, as well as job application. So I don't know if, what is this? Minimize that. So I'm going to talk about the 3rd item, if you are seeing there somewhere here, Pearson VUE. That's a test taker home. You know, if you're a professional, if you have a bachelor's degree from your country, even if you are advanced level, go over there. And if you have some really good time, take some certification, and that certification is never going to fail you. You can be hired from anywhere in the world. You don't have to only think about Canada, but you need to put some time, you know, read what you have read, go there, pay some test, and then get that certification. It's a highly recognized international certification. If you get that, you're never going to fail you. And then also, before we continue, when it comes to how to apply for jobs, I think that I'm just going to drop that website in China, because we're all in China in the first place, and lots of opportunities. You never know when they knock at your door. So whether you are just coming into China, or you have already graduated, or you're still in school, I think that you should, after this, you should be able to establish a resume or a CV or a curriculum vitae, and then go to www.echinacities.com. There, you can create a profile for yourself, put in your resume, upload your resume, or create that profile, and wait. Because you're in Changchun, and Changchun, as China is really big, and the opportunities happen in Shanghai, you are not there. It happens in Beijing, you are not there. In Dongguan, Shenzhen. From there, when the employer is ready to recruit and they do their scan, whoever they want, they get over there and they're going to call you and they're going to write to you. So make sure that you always read their email once you have registered there. So without much delay, we'll go straight to the CV writing, which I thought myself, when I left Africa for the first time, I didn't know what was a resume or what is a CV. So in the first place, when you write a CV or a resume, there can never be any word in your writing as resume. So there is no title, there is no header, there is nothing like you write somewhere there, you are writing a resume. You don't need that. You just follow this pattern for today, and we're going to get there. So a simple definition for a resume I'm going to talk today, right here in green. I want to first get there quickly. If a resume is just like an advertisement for you to sell yourself. So just imagine that a resume is just an advertisement for you to sell yourself. So you need to be selling yourself, like you're selling every stuff. So ready to sell yourself, ready to sell your professionalism, ready to sell anything you have. And again, don't fool yourself. Whether you came here, you're studying in English, have some small Chinese in your life. You know, get some basic Chinese is important. So the goal of a resume, as you can see there, is just for, you know, for you to answer a few questions like, why should I hire you? Know that the employer, ask yourself that question. Why should the employer hire you? Once you can answer that question, which is about all your experience, your education, and your portfolio as a whole, then you are ready for a resume. So that's your main reason for writing a resume. And you have to be able to communicate, you know, who you are. You want to tell the employer who you are and where you want to go, like your mission, you know. You have to be able to spell that out clearly in your resume. And by the time we go through, you will see some information on what to put in your resume. So you are trying to give an employer the interest or the desire to hire you, and that when the employer has your resume, because for a single job there are thousands of people applying. Sometimes I've been a manager, I put a job online and I see the kind of resumes that come. I don't even have time to look at it. So imagine yourself that you're applying to someone who doesn't even have time to look at your CV or your resume. So you want to be very, very professional in what you are doing. sometimes if a company is well advanced, they have a scanner, they just throw all of the resume there, it scans, and who are those who have the key vocabularies they're looking for, the keywords, they extract those ones, they keep, so it's a 20-minute scan to look at their resume. We don't really look at, or a recruiter doesn't look at that too much, just want to look into the basics, the key parts. So your resume should have this kind of outline. You add the outline there. So there are 6 items in your, not necessarily 6, let's say 5, because accessories is just, if you want to ask, it's like an extra, it's a gravy. So all you need is a header, a career objective, or a qualification summary. This, either you would choose between one of them to be your second item, and we're going to explain that. Your work experience, that comes immediately after that. Your education, sometimes it depends on yourself, whether you want to bring education first, and then career, work experience, the 4th item. And then the 6th item will definitely come if you don't want to put some accessories in your resume. So you can just keep that order. But I know for many people who are still in the university, who are just graduating, you want to add some accessories, which we'll explain at the bottom. So those are the 6 items you may need for your resume. So I said earlier that you do not need any word like resume on your CV writing. So your main header, when everybody sees your address of that type, which is, they know that, okay, that's you, and that's your header. They know that this is a resume, because it's a standard for resume. So you want to put in your address, and you can see everything that your address contains: your full name, your street address. I've just tried to use some information here in Changchun, because we are here in Changchun, so I just use the name Ebuka Jonathan, and I don't know this address if it exists. 830 Changchun University of Science and Technology, Changchun, Jilin Province. So that's what you want to have on your resume: your telephone number and your email address. So sometimes you write all kinds of email address, which is not too good. Your email, I would advise that if you have an email address that does not look very professional, you can just have an email that has your true name. If you are Ebuka Johnson, you go to that email and you try to choose something that is, that is familiar with your name. Like here, I'm putting J for Jonathan in that email, and Ebuka for the full family name, the Ebuka. At whether it's Yahoo, whether it's Google, whether it's Gmail, let me put it that way, or MCC, there you are. So you can use that, right? You want to ensure that your header is very professional, and this is a traditional method for putting your address on your header, put it that way in your resume. And there are other forms like the creative method, which is hello? Am I hearing myself? Yeah. Which is the electronic method, and it's always been scanned. So sometimes if you don't use the traditional method, when they download their resumes at the other side, everything scatters, so make sure you stick on the traditional method. Yeah, it never fails you. So we move on. I said the first item was supposed to be header. We're done with header. Then we'll be looking between career objective and qualification summary, which one you would want to use. So if you're using career objectives, these are the things you need to know. And if you be using a career seminar, we'll be looking at it as well. So for career objective, these are people, you already a professional, like you have worked for some time, or even if you're a fresh graduate, you know exactly what position you are applying for. The job is advertised, and you are going there, you are looking at that job, and you want to apply for that role. So you know the position in advance, and you can use career objective standard to prepare a resume. And it is a second item that comes in your resume, and you want to let the employer know that you know what you want to do, and you are ensuring that you have good experience in that domain. And there are some few items you can avoid in that career objective, because it's usually a statement, which I'm going to show you example. So most of the time you see people who write like what I said here, do not write. This kind of thing you cannot write on your career objective. So you'll be writing like something like, avoid this kind of writing. To obtain a position in a company, in a maybe big company, whatever you may choose to put, where I can use my skills to increase sales or contribution or contribute to the overall success of the company. So it doesn't really tell, it's too much tautology, there's too much talking, which is not necessary. So if, for example, if you were just to say that, what you can write in your career objective, I'll give you an example here, which is good professional behavior. To direct sales organization, to direct a sales organization at the consumer product company. So you know that you are applying for sales representative or whatever you are applying for, and you know that they're doing they're selling consumer products. So you put it straight on what you want. So if someone was looking at your resume within the 20 minutes, that were 20 seconds, he want to put that resume at the side for a review and look at it, or pass to a few other managers to throw an eye on it if they could go deeper. So that's what you cannot. That's an example of what you can write on your career objective. And I'll be talking about career profile. Be careful that you do not misunderstand between career objective and career profile. So those two terms are not the same, they're different. So the tips for you or any advice is just make sure that you keep that objective very brief. You don't need to have more than 12 words on that. If you count here, I think I just have 10 words, right? Just 10 words, I believe, if you count there. So keep it brief. If you see here it's too long and it's not telling exactly that you know what you want to do. So, and here are some sample career statements you can add under. Let's say you have that already and you want to add some what you can do, some statements. So I put a few. You can always look that. I believe everybody has this PPT. You can look it at your free time again. So seeking a position in sales where 5 years of sales, maybe sales or consumer experience will add value. So you're using power words, like power phrases like add value, right? And here again, you can also using powerful words like contribute to success. You're telling them that you know what you want to come and do for them, and that you know. And then you still, you're also like being clear that you're coming with 5 years of budgeting planning experience, right? And I just throw this here in case you are working in the educational sector. You can put like a corporate trainer if you were applying for a job to teaching, corporate trainer, where they always tell you that they need fluent English or native English. You can put it anywhere. Where fluent English would be useful, skills in teaching and classroom management. So you're giving a quick signal that these are all the kind of different statements that you can use for your career profile. So if you don't want to use that one up there are many more you can think about more. And then I just said here as a rule of thumb, if you're not sure of what position you are looking for, if you're not sure, you don't have that kind of experience, you can better go to qualification summary. Remember I told you here that we're asking ourselves career objective or qualification summary as your second item. So in case you don't know yourself very well, you don't know what kind of job you want to apply, you are seeking for any position, like let's say like you're just seeking for any position from the employer or the recruiter, then you should just send a resume that carries your qualification summary, not the objective, not the career objective. So for your qualification summary, when you are sending, this is when you are sending a resume to a company with the hope of landing any job. You do not know exactly, you're open to any kind of job. There are people who are professional. Let's say you are a programmer, you are a Python specialist, you are a computer specialist. You do not want to go and be doing sales. You're losing career in the future. So you want to let the employer recruit you as a computer expert, whether it's networking, whether it's database administrator, whether it's just some office administrator. So you hit it with your career objective. But if you don't know, you're open to any role, then you can open up with a career qualification summary. And so those are the things you can do there. So it's generally a 2 or 3 word phrase, you know, it's not too much. And so for example, you can use words like more than 5 years of sales experience, managing advertising sales, promotion, production, and circulation to the right place at the right time. You know, winner of the ABC company, whatever your company may be, or any company you have worked before, winner of the ABC award for marketing excellence, best performing sales manager or sales representative or sales associate. You can use any of that, right? So, and most often it is best for you to use qualification summary, because if you are using career objective, objective, sometimes because you don't have to put dates, the recruiter may be suspecting you that you are hiding something, you are hiding. You know, that's why you see people, they use qualification. But it's good if you know yourself. You don't need to be afraid, right? If you're going for a big job, a professional job, where you have skills, you can stick on career profile. For example, if you're out of your domain for a while and then you want to go back, you can hang on career objective. Yeah, you're teaching today, but you want to do another job, you should try to hang in on career objective. But still, you can still be confident to use qualification summary, because you'll be showing what you have done by the dates to show that you have not been out of the industry for a long time. Okay, so here are more example statements. Second one, you can say that completing a degree, if you're still in school, or if you're just graduating, you know, you can use something like this, you know. For example, completing a degree in logistics and supply chain management, intern as logistics assistant with inventory responsibility at a Shanghai-based agency or a Changchun-based, a Jilin-based company. It depends where you are. And then what you're doing there, you ensure compliance and avoid discrepancies and promote customer first initiatives. So you can put stuff like that, you know, for your qualification summary. So whether you choose qualification summary or career objective, you just think about your background, what you want, right? Thank you. And again, once you're finished with your address, your objective, career objective, or qualification, summary of qualification, you can now move to your work experience, which is your third item. So in this case, the only difference is that the chronology or functional approach, which it comes these two vocabulary here. Either you will do it chronologically or you do it like in a functional approach. If you're using chronological approach, you will be putting dates when you started working and when you ended the job in the last company, because you are doing chronologically, and you want to do that in a reverse chronological form. It means you're starting from your most recent and you're going back, right? And for the functional one, you don't need any dates in your resume. So let's be clear about that one. So if you're using functional approach for your work experience, you do not need to put dates. We're going to look at what you need to do. So here, if you are doing chronological, if you decide to go chronologically, then you need to place information, as I said, in reverse order. You have to focus on the time and the job continuity. You have to show that you didn't, the recruiter doesn't want to see that you have been out of job for a while, for a long time. Maybe even if you have been out of a job, not more than 6 months, and that you have your growth an achievement. You are showing all this. We can see that. They can see that you have all of that. So these are the area you want to function. You want to focus on. And then if you are doing a functional approach for your work experience, and then you want to focus on skills, right? You want to focus on your credentials. So I have them, you know, or your credential, credentials and accomplishment. So those are the areas you want to emphasize for the employer. So you have a skills area, your credentials, and your accomplishment. So it comes back to almost the same thing when you are, you know, because it's all about work experience. The only difference is the approach, whether you are using dates and time to show, or you're just showing your skills, your credentials, and accomplishment. So in a way, you may realize that in your resume, you are neither using a chronological or a functional approach when you start, when you mixed, you know, a chronological and functional approach. So we call that a combination resume. It's not too important here to talk about, but let's just make sure that you know that you can mix, you know, with dates, or with the career, with either the career objective or qualification summary. So use a career profile if you are using a career profile. So a functional style, a listing of relevant skills and accomplishment, then describe employment and educational history in reverse chronological order. So if you were using your career profile, so you see that it's a mix. And then let's just move faster because we don't have too much time. I'm seeing here for entry level. If you're just an entry level person, you want to start job for the first time, a lot of us who are in bachelor's level, we left our hometown, we have come here. So I'll recommend that you should use either the chronological or you use a combinational format. And you know, a combinational format will mix you up with the functional style approach, and also with you'll be writing that statement like a qualification summary. A career profile, what you want to do, and then you mix it up with dates and stuff like that. What you did in the last time and your current position, which you may be a student or you're just graduating, or maybe a volunteer position. So after all of that, there comes your education or your experience, but it's not clear whether you want to, because education and experience, because you have to sell yourself today. We said the resume it's an advertisement to sell yourself. So you only sell your best experience, your best your area of where you want to sell to the employer. If you want to sell the employer your education, then after your career profile, your career objectives, or your qualification summary, you can decide to put in your education before experience. Or if you feel your experience is more important for the job than your education, then you should put in your experience and your education will come underneath, right? So that is all we have to say there. So you decide what you want to sell out. If you're just graduating from a university here, you want to sell that education to someone, to a recruiter that you are from here, even if he's back home, you want to sell that you attended a very important university, a powerful university in China. So you want to put education first and then experience at the bottom of that role. So, as I said, whatever your greatest asset is, your intention is to catch the employer's attention. So put it first, whether it's education or experience. So it's right there. I just decided to ask a question to keep it brief, because somebody may want to ask that question. How long should their resume be or look like? So a professional resume, should be like a one page, but sometimes it's hard for people to put all of their information in a single page. But if you can, that makes sense a lot. If you know yourself, if you have been working in a profession for like 10 years, you can just put your experience, and if it's a chronological order, it's just 1 year, and you put all your functions that you have been doing in the company, and then that turns out to be like a 1 year, a one-page resume. But if you have had jumping jobs, you worked here, and you want to show the recruiter that you have some other kinds of experience, you can go to a second page, and that should be your maximum. Avoid 3 pages. Don't even try to go there. It just makes the recruiter, you're angering the recruiter. You're giving him a lot of things to read. It means that you can't even communicate. You lack communication skills, and that's why you are putting 4 pages, 3 pages. So keep it 1.5, or which is 2-page maximum, or 2-page maximum. So as I said, if you're crossing 2 pages, it means you're showing that you're indicating, it's an indication that you don't have communication skills. You can't concise, you can't be able to define yourself what you need. So get that clear too as well. So, and we came to career profile, or maybe a professional profile, or what you want to just call it. You can just call it profile. Any of those names make sense to you, you know. So a combination resume works well here, and I'm just going to read here quickly so that I'll be able to explain. Start your resume with a career profile. That's a functional section, followed by your work experience. So that's another thing you want to show, you know. As I said, a career profile is different from a career summary or career objective. And it is a place where you are defining your job, you know, and whether you are doing chronological or functional, you still need to define yourself, put your career profile and define them. So we're going to see example of that. So for your career profile, let's say that you've started with your address. Let me go chronologically again. Let's say you started with your address. That was your address. And then you decided that you were going to use career profile, career objective. You have that one statement that you wrote. Maybe you choose that one, for example, and then you have done with that. Let's say you are not going to promote qualification summary, but if you decided to use qualification summary instead of career profile, so immediately after your address, you wrote something like that, you know, that few sentences for that. And then you continue now, and and then that was your qualification summary that you choose. So you are going on to, you did your work experience. In your work experience, you know, whether this is just a discussion, whether you will use word or word for that to express yourself, but that's just a definition of what you will follow next. So you went and you were going to, you were to put your, okay, no, just talking here 1 second. Yeah, you are on your career profile. So just above that, now you have that work experience. So for your career profile, it's saying that we say a combination resume works well here. You can start your resume with a career profile. This is what you're doing. And you can, the functional section will just follow by your work experience. This is all discussion. So once that functional area is shown, or the qualification summary, you start with your work experience. So your career profile is what you will write under each job experience. So I'm going to say that, for example, here, you could write something like this, you know, like an example of a career profile. You can put like recognize order processing procedures to reduce time required by 40%, because you're giving achievements, right? You put in 40% that this is something you achieved. You were able to save time for the company by 40%. And you know, in a logistics industry, time is very important, you know, because things are scheduled, and pickups are supposed to be on schedule. Some customers are waiting that their products will arrive at a certain time, and you don't want the customer voice coming out on a bad review. So you achieve something for the company. Even if you're a volunteer, you could go to a company where you can say that you save time by 40%, recognizing order processing procedures. So you look at the procedure is not working very well, and then you implement some new ways of doing stuff, right? You were doing well. And then maybe you could even think like, okay, they need one more staff. You could recommend that to the manager, and that, you know, the job, the company, people are struggling. We need an extra staff, or maybe a staff that can just come and give us a part-time service, like 4 hours or 3 hours. And it makes sense. So you would have reduced the time required for a particular function by 40% or 30%. It depends on just an estimate, right? It's not always like true, because you cannot estimate that, but you can do calculations and you can say no. Or you could say you track and monitor, you know, other processing to reduce discrepancies, and then defective products almost by zero. So you make sure there are no discrepancies happening within the environment you're working. Customer orders are going to the right, you don't ship somebody's product to the wrong customer and stuff like that, or to the wrong location and stuff like that. So those are some achievements. And you can have a lot more of achievement, different phrases for a career profile, something that you achieve, you know. You can go any of that. Maybe exceeding goals, maybe if you're an accountant or cashier, you expense savings, you know. If you are in the industry where there's inventory, maybe you're doing something about inventory reduction. They are not wasting, you know, like we just need 1,000 phones to be sent to maybe let's say a city in Jilin or like shipping, and they send 2,000 phones, so, or accessories or parts, and they don't need all of that. It's wasted. Time is going and it's there. They're wasting money to ship it back and up and down and stuff like that. So you've been, being responsible in a company. So more of that. So example of career profile or for an office administration role, I just feel somebody could be for that. So I choose that to give an example for your career profile. You can say things like that, you know, can write statement like experienced in administrative duties, schedule meetings, handle travel management and purchasing, handle clients and other issues. So that could be something you are doing. Or if you are a computer person, you can say like advanced computer skills, including Microsoft MS, which is Microsoft, MS Suite or Office Suite. It entails Outlook, Excel, Words, Access. It entails all of that. Or if you have done some computer database program, you can put Oracle database, or maybe SAP, if you know SAP, or Microsoft 360 Outlook, which is the main working tool for every company nowadays. If you don't know any of this, you can still put Microsoft 360, because it's already very popular. There's no company that is not using that at this moment. All of your schools are using that. Or Microsoft, and it can be other stuff. If you have done some information and communication technology, that is ICT, you could talk about Oracle database. You could talk about SQL database, and there are many more. You have that in your schools that you're talking, and those who are working in places, you are seeing that in your company. So we talked about, I already spoke about the chronological format. You just use it when you have a lot of different work history. So you can look about that. And what you can include in that, you need to give the employer's name, and it should be full name. Don't use abbreviation. You could give the location where the company is located, like the city and province. You can give the date of employment, your start and end date. You could also, you need to put in your job position that you work for the company, that you handle when you're in the company, and your summary of responsibility and accomplishment, which will be part of that will come above. So example of accomplishment, you can say something like, did I not put, okay, we'll see that name here. So I said, you need, if you were to put a company's name, you have this, for example, I said, your job title, you are a software consultant, you work for a company, for example, that was like a Windrow Technology Co. Limited. I just looked for that on China websites to have that company within China. And then you were working in a city like Shenzhen, and then maybe the province was Guangdong. And then this is your current role. So you started like from 2019, and then this is your current role. So that's your small header for that if you decided to choose a chronological format. So you must come with dates and time and company names and stuff like that. And you can put your achievements, your responsibility, and what you achieve. You can see that, like let's say you sold, if you're a marketer, for example, sold to large companies worldwide, or if you're a software person, you're selling software, for example, you sold to a large companies worldwide, includes contract negotiations and software. Those are the things you are doing, software demonstration. You sell, you go there, you do demonstration for the software. Those are some of the things you did, right? Or you created a client base of 100 clients over 13 months that you have been working. You can say that. You can even 200 clients you can do if you are a smart software consultant, you're advertising, you're getting customers, whatever you can do, you put that, right? So we continue. If you are a technical support person, support representative, you put there, this is another example, that's your title there. You are working for a tech company, Tech Inc. Incorporation, maybe in Guangdong, and then in Guangzhou, Guangdong, and then maybe you have been working there from 2014 to 2019, because you have multiple, you have worked for multiple companies, and so you are using chronological order. So you put that one, it's followed by the second one. If there's a third one, you can put. And 5 to 8 points are all, and there are 5 to 8 bullet points are good. Here I just give you 3, you can add more. Here I just give you 1, you can add more of what you did, right? So it goes more. So if you were using a functional format, it's just a functional format that you were using. And this is what you were supposed to do. You're just supposed to, because we said it is great when your work experience and career goals do match the job. Sorry, I think that note is wrong here. Please take note. It do match the job. So your past work experience and current job requirements do not match, right? So you just want to, let's say, I think there's a mistake there with that, my not and not. So here's an example of how you're gonna do it. You just want to do these 3 things for the functional format. That's just immediately after your summary of qualification or maybe your career objective. You may just want to show the company your experience, your qualification, and your accomplishment. In that case, you'll not be indicating dates and time and all whatnot. So for example, let's say you're applying for a technical oriented position. Maybe you're applying for a DBA, which is a database administrator, or you are a developer, or you are applying for an analyst role. It depends. So all you need to just put there, you have something like, these are your skills, you put in your experience, what you have done, the first one. So you have programming skills, you have network administration skills, and you have a database administration skills. So for example, that's what you want to show the employer. So a list of 4 to 5, you can put 4 points or 5 experiences that you want to indicate, because you have this experience and you are going for the job. So you're showing what you know. Then let's say for the programming skills, because these are the things you want to show, you could say that for your programming skills, you say 3 years experience as Oracle database administrator. If you are a DBA, a database administrator with Oracle, if you know Oracle, or if you are SQL, you can choose if it's Python. There are many other kinds of databases. And then you can also add more skills like develop and maintain 15 projects. You could get 20 projects. You could get 30, you could get 10 projects on virtual machine, VM, maybe on customer management software, or machine virtual machines and management on the virtual machine mainframe platform. And then you coded with, this language like T-SQL if you were SQL Server administrator, or Cobalt if you were if you were Oracle database administrator. So those are the languages, for example, that they use there. I just shared a few examples. So you wanted to share these 3 skills. Now you have shared your programming skill. You want to share your networking skill. You could put it like that. It's a network administrative skill. So you say you have 4 years work experience as network administrator. You exceed hard deadlines to set up company network for 45 computers. because you're a network, you can do up to 100 computers. I'm just giving for freshers, and then able to work without direction and identify areas to improve efficiency. So those are some areas that you may want to highlight. As I said, you have these 3 skills that you want to highlight as experience: your programming skills, administrative skills, a database administrator skill, if you were one of these functions. So you want to show that. So that's what you could do for your programming skills, and that's what you could do for your network administration skills, and that could be part of it. And then you still need to remember, you still need to put your database and those 3 things. Those are what you want to show. You don't need to put date and time like in the chronological order. You don't need to say the company's name that you work for. You just want to, your issue here, your focus is giving out your experience, your qualification, and your accomplishment. Those are the things you want to show if you are using a functional approach for someone who is a pro in his domain. So, and after your work experience comes your education, or if you have decided to put education first because it was your highest assets that you wanted to sell to the recruiter, then that's fine. So your education, this is what you want to include. It's a very interesting part. A lot of us who have studied in China, this should be very interesting in your heart, whether the education was hard or soft or whatever. But I mean, you have done something very great for yourself. So, and you may not see it today, but you see it in the future, what you did. So you will need to include the name and the location of school, the graduation date, the degree that you had when you completed, and the major area of study. And then you could also add accomplishments and any relevant rewards when it comes to your education. So some people who are just fresh graduates, you want to sell some stuff, but if you're an old broom in the house, you don't need all of this, like including GPA. But if you are fresh, somebody graduating, you want to include, if you are graduating from a well-known university, put it. Even you are old, still put it. Some people are very interested in seeing that somebody graduated. They're hiring somebody with a strong academic background, so you can put it. And then you can also include your high school if you don't have any degree yet. You can put that and include your GPA. If you had, especially if you have something like a B+ and above, you can put that and indicate it, because you're still bachelor's. You are not graduated. You can add that if you're bachelor's. And then if you have a unique educational experience, like let's say you have worked with a professor in the school, like you went for an international exchange, let's say in another country, or you came here just for international exchange, you can add that. You have been in a seminar with a famous professor, maybe in school, or even some expo kind of information. You can put that you have been in a research assistant position in your university, and let's say you're a PhD and or a master's, and you're assisting in some area. You can indicate that, or anything that you think is important. You can add it in your educational sector for your resume. You can include any licenses. Let's say you have been on Johnson & Johnson, as I put it there. That's Pearson VUE. At the very beginning, I told you to, if you have time, you can take some professional certification under the Pearson VUE.
Sir,
yes?
Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. We have been trying to get in touch with you in the inbox. We'll give you just 30 seconds to wrap up because of our time. You have exceeded a little bit, and we would like to just yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you very much. I'm just gonna quickly summarize in 1 minute, okay? And then we're done. So at least that was the main part, and the rest can be seen. So I think that's it. We'll leave it there, and anybody who needs more information will go through the PowerPoint, or maybe if in the future we have more time, we can talk about it again and again. I've added some keywords that you can use, and there are more tips on how to add some achievements, the STAR approach. And I think that's it. Good luck. So thank you very much for your time and for letting me present this report. So I hope by this presentation and by someone taking the action to write a resume and put it on each anaesthetists, somebody may be called for a job. Thank you very much.
So much. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, please drop emojis to show your gratitude to Mr. Endo. We appreciate you. Say, I know you exceeded your time because you care. You want this to be amazing. You want everyone to get the gist of how everything should be. So we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Say. And for those that have been writing CVs, that in their career path, you have seen the kind of you were writing, huh? The kind of abominations that you were writing, yeah, sending to employers, yeah. Now you have the real thing. Now you have the real thing. And stop having those emails where you write, hey, baddest, the original. Now you can write the right things. You have the right things. So we were supposed to have the mom team give us a video. So mom team, are you ready? May you quickly just show us before we move on to the next part.
I talked about faith, passion, obviously the drive with the guys that I've been around and the guys that surround me every single day. But a part of that is having the will to succeed. Knowing that you put the work in and have the confidence to let it show. What I tell people is just be the best version of yourself in anything that you do. You don't have to live anybody else's story. Sometimes people make it seem like you have to have certain prerequisites or a crazy life story in order to be successful in this world. But the truth is you really don't. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or don't have, what you lack, what you have too much of, but all you need to have is faith in God, an undying passion for what you do or what you choose to do in this life, and a relentless drive and the will to do whatever it takes to be successful and whatever you put your mind to. Make sure you live in the moment and work your butt off every single day. And I hope I inspire people all around the world to just be themselves, be humble, and be grateful for all the blessings in your life. And I'm truly honored to be your MVP this year. So thank you very much. I was always the smallest kid on my team. When it comes to basketball, I was always the smallest kid on my team. Everything happens for a reason, and there's a story to everything. And if you take time to realize what your dream is and what you really want in life, no matter what it is, whether it's sports, whether it's in other fields, you have to realize that there's always work to do, and you want to be the hardest working person in whatever you do, and you put yourself in position to be successful. And you have to have a passion about what you do. And basketball was mine, and that's what's carried me to this point.
Okay, thank you so much, mom team. That was amazing. You made my day. Whoever chose this video, shout out to you. But you would have told me that this is the inspiration you wanted. I would have said everything by my mouth. I would have told you his name, his birthplace, his wife, his kids, what motivated him. Yeah. Yeah. that is one of the people that also motivate me. That was Stephen Waddell Carey. Yes, he's from California in San Francisco Bay. He's a very, very prestigious basketball player, and I hope we were encouraged. So let us move on. Okay, I'll stop. Let us move on. Now I'm going to invite my beloved Sister Martina, to introduce our next speaker as we go with our program. Sister Martina, you can take the mic.
Hello, everyone. Can I be heard?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Haven't heard from the first speaker, such an impactful and educative one. Let's welcome our second speaker for another educative one, Mr. Adrian Lindsay. Mr. Adrian Lindsay, a distinguished Jamaican native and proud father of two, Adrian is a highly accomplished individual with diverse academic background, including diploma in theology, a BA in Spanish and French, an MA in Chinese translation and interpreting, and a PhD in modern contemporary Chinese literature, which is pending. Professionally, Mr. Adrian is certified in teaching Chinese as a second language. He has taught English as a second language to speakers of Spanish, French, and Chinese, and has worked as a freelance translator and interpreter. He also serves as a foreign language instructor at the university level. Mr. Adrian's ministerial experience is extensive, having served as an usher, praise and worship leader, choir member, Sunday school teacher, youth department leader, outreach ministry team member, and preacher. He is currently an ordained minister, associate pastor. Mr. Adrian loves spending time with his family, traveling and sharing his experiences on his YouTube channel, On Cloud Linter. Let's have Mr. Adrian on ground now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can everyone see me clearly? Okay, I believe so. And I hope everyone is hearing me well. Let me see some comments. I see Sister Adele saying I'm also in the food department. All right, thank you so much for that introduction. And when I was asked to submit my profile, I deliberately included those two aspects based on what I'll be talking about today, because well, before I get into all of that and run ahead of myself, it is good to be here sharing with you at another academic seminar. And I just want to acknowledge our Pastor V. Deaconess Joy and the leadership of MCC, also the organizing committee of this wonderful seminar, and all of you who are here today. It's good to see you all, and thankful for the opportunity to be sharing with you. So at this time, I'm just going to share my screen real quick, and please let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so shining in the marketplace, the theme of today's seminar, and it's about thriving as a Christian professional. And we have the theme verses right there. So the topic for me today is balancing faith and professionalism. And I put a little subtopic there, navigating work and spirituality as a Christian professional. So life in the workplace for us as Christians will not be the same as it is for those who are non-Christians. And I think one of the first things we tend to do is forget who we are once we're outside of a church setting. And then we start to put ourselves in the same position as a non-Christian. And then we want to compare ourselves with them, right? But we need to remember who we are and whose we are. And even in the, just a moment. And even in the workspace, we must remember that we are still children of God and we need to let our light shine. All right, so can everyone see the screen much clearer? All right, thank you. All right. So let's get right into it. And as I go along, I might speak a bit fast because I have so much to share, just like our brother before, the guest speaker before. I have so much to share, but I know we don't have all night. All right, for me, where I'm at now, it's just after 3 in the afternoon, and I might forget that it's not the same time where you are in China. However, let's see how much we can get out of this. So take your notes. And if you have any questions, remember to write down your questions and submit your questions because we will have a Q&A section later on. All right, so balancing faith and professionalism. Balancing faith and professionalism. What does this mean? It means integrating biblical values into your daily life, your daily work life, making ethical decisions, and being a light in the workplace. As Christians, we are called to reflect Christ in all areas of life, including our careers. So we don't have one life as Christians when we're at church, and we have a different life when we are at work. And throughout my presentation, I might use the word work or workplace, but it really refers to any space that you are in outside of church. So whether you are a student, you're at school, you're in the lab, you're a scientist, it doesn't matter where you are, the same thing applies. So I just want somebody to type in the chat, apply the principle. Again, apply the principle. All right. So, today we're living in a very fast-paced world where everything is moving so fast. And sometimes if we're not careful, we do not have time to get ourselves together. We don't have time to get our thoughts together. And we get distracted and we start getting confused. We don't know what to do first. We don't know where we're at. And sometimes we have so many things to do and so little time. But I'm here to just give some tips and possibly some encouragement, and hopefully everyone will find it useful. All right, so just a quick overview. In the increasingly globalized and competitive environment, Christian professionals often face the challenge of balancing their faith with the demands of their careers. And so many times we struggle with questions like, how can I maintain my Christian values in a secular workplace? How do I excel in my profession while staying true to my faith? And how do I handle workplace challenges in a Christ-like manner? Now, I am doing a balance between Christian and secular. And so it might sound like I'm preaching a bit, but guess what? I'm not preaching. I'm just using the word of God to support some of the things I have to say. All right? So, however, it doesn't matter what situation we find ourselves in, we should always remember that we are called to be ambassadors of Christ in our workplaces, yes, demonstrating integrity, diligence, and love while striving for career or academic excellence. So in this session, I would like to look at 4 key areas that will help us to establish this balance. So the first one we have here is spiritual and career excellence. And here I'm going to talk about how to pursue both faithfulness to God and professional success. Then I'm going to look at time management tips and give some practical strategies for managing our time effectively while prioritizing spiritual growth. Then I'll look at workplace productivity tips, which is how to remain productive, ethical, and effective in our jobs. And then finally, I'll be looking at relationship management, which deals with building strong, healthy, and Christ-centered relationships in a professional space. So in case I don't get to the end because of time, at least you have an idea of where I'm going with this. And as Matthew 5 verse 16 says, let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Through this seminar, hopefully we can equip you with some biblical wisdom and practical tools to shine in the marketplace while maintaining a strong and unwavering faith. All right, so section 1. The first section dealing with spiritual and career excellence. Balancing faith and professionalism begins with understanding the importance of both spiritual and career excellence. Both are important. You know, I think, I don't want to say it's a Bible verse because I'm not sure, but we always have this saying in my country, for Christians especially, they always say they're too heavenly minded and no earthly good. So we don't want anybody to say that you're too heavenly minded. Your mind is up in heaven. We can't have a conversation about anything except the Bible and heaven. All right? Because there is supposed to be a balance in everything that we do. And so many people struggle with the idea that they must choose between being deeply committed to their faith or excelling in their careers. But I am here to tell you that you don't have to choose between one and the other, because we are called to pursue both with diligence and integrity. You know, some people, they tend to devote all their time to their spiritual life and nothing about their life living in this world in terms of their career, their personal development as a human being. All right? But we can do both. So what is spiritual excellence? I have here spiritual excellence means growing in faith, living according to God's word, and reflecting Christ in all aspects of life, including the workplace. And this involves a strong relationship with God, integrity and ethical living, being a witness in the workplace. And you'll hear some words being repeated. Someone says, if it is important, it is worth saying twice. But for me, I'm not going to limit it to twice. If it is important, it is worth saying again and again. All right. So what is career excellence? Career excellence means developing professional skills, working diligently, and striving for success in a way that honors God. And this involves commitment to hard work, performing tasks with excellence as unto the Lord, continual growth and learning, which is seeking knowledge, improving skills, staying adaptable in a competitive work environment. Because the truth is, sometimes, especially if we have been working at a place for a long time, we feel like we have arrived, like there is nothing more for me to learn. There is nothing for me to change. There is nothing else that I can do to make myself better. So I will just remain as I am. But I do not believe that God has called any of us to be stagnant. You know, there is always room to grow. There is always room for improvement. So let us seek knowledge Sometimes we think we know it all, and then when we're on the job, it becomes so difficult for people to interact with you because you feel like you have known it all, you have experienced it all, so nobody can tell you otherwise. And sometimes these things cause problems in the workplace, in the classroom, especially when it comes with working together with others, especially younger people than you. All right. And then we have professional integrity as part of the career excellence. And this includes being honest, reliable, and respect in dealing with colleagues, clients, and superiors. So it doesn't matter who you're dealing with, you need to respect everyone. And reliability, that is a sneaky one because sometimes we might say, well, I'll be honest because I am a Christian. And okay, I'll be respectful because, you might equate being disrespectful to sin or being offensive. But what about being reliable? Every time someone asks you to do something or you're assigned a task, can you be trusted to come through? Right? Can you be trusted to come through? Are you going to come with some excuses or some good reasons why you were not able to fulfill your obligations? We're not saying you're not telling a lie because maybe you really have a good reason, but is that a pattern of you always having a reason to not do what you're supposed to do? How reliable are you in the workplace? How dependable are you? Right? So these are some things that you take into consideration when we talk about career excellence as a Christian. Now, balancing the two. Many Christians separate their spiritual life from their work life, as I said before. But let's look at some of these things, these points. Seeing work as a ministry is a way you can use to balance both. Your job is not just about making money. It is also an opportunity to serve God and be a testimony to others. Can somebody say, I want to be a testimony to my co-workers? And if you're a student, just write in the chat, I want to be a testimony to my schoolmates. All right. The next one is honoring God in daily tasks. Sometimes we have this conception that we can only honor God in church-related activities. But no, we are to honor God in every aspect of our lives, in everything that we do, which of course includes work and school. All right, so when we viewing your work as an act of worship and doing it with a spirit of excellence. So this all boils down to your perspective. How do you see your job? How do you see your life as a student? And then we have keeping faith central. In every decision, meeting, or project, let your faith shape your actions and interactions. I love this one. Let your faith shape your actions and interaction. So sometimes we're interacting with people. We have to really ask ourselves, is my faith being shown? I remember one sermon, this preacher preached once about two types of Christians. And one was the thermometer, and the other one was a thermostat. Yes, I almost forgot that one. So again, so we have the thermometer Christian, which is wherever you place the thermometer, it will give you the temperature of that object or of that person, right? And so the temperature changes. And that is the thermometer Christian, who wherever they go, their temperature changes to fit in pretty much. But then you have the thermostat Christians, who the thermostats set the temperature like the AC, and then the environment has to warm up or cool down and get to that temperature. So I want you to type in the chat which of these you think you are right now. On the job or at school? Which one are you? Do you think, are you going, and is anybody going to say, I think I'm a thermometer? Because sometimes personally, I feel like in this situation, I really feel like I'm being a thermometer. But let us aim to be a thermostat Christian, where wherever we go, our aim is to make the environment change to adapt to our standard. All right, so let's get on. So I'm going to look at some biblical perspective on work. The first point I have here is see your job, see your study opportunity as a God-ordained responsibility. And I have some verses here. Genesis 2:15, it says, the Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work and to take care of it. So we have a responsibility to work. Proverbs 14:23, it says, all hard work brings profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. So we see the Bible encourages us to work. All right. Then we have see work as a ministry and a testimony opportunity, which I said before. And I'm not going to go through all the Bible verses, but I put them there so that you can refer to them or consult them after, because I believe we will share the PowerPoint, the presentations with you later on. All right, so we have now number 3, excellence in work as a way to glorify God. And again, I've provided some scriptures to support these points. All right, so let's look at some practical application on how to live out a biblical perspective on work. So the first thing we want to do is pray for your work. Or if you're a student, pray for your studies. Pray for the people that you have to interact with, the people who are involved in decision making, your superiors. You have to pray for them, put them before God. Next, we want to maintain integrity, being honest, all right? Work with a spirit of excellence. Now, it doesn't mean you have to become a perfectionist, but seek to be excellent, going beyond expectations, being proactive, and develop a reputation for reliability and dedication. So when I say work with a spirit of excellence, I do not mean you need to be a perfectionist, because that is something different and something that always causes problems. All right. And next one, we say be a positive influence. Encourage your colleagues, handle conflicts with wisdom, and show Christ's love through your actions. And then exercise your faith in the workplace. So let's take a quick look at faith in the workplace. As Christians, we are called to be a light in every environment, including the workplace. So maintaining and expressing faith in a professional setting can be challenging, especially in secular or multicultural environments. And that's the situation most of us here are in today. We're in a secular and multicultural environment. And so it's very difficult for us, especially as Christians, to really stand out or to maintain our faith, without affecting our job and causing any other problems on the job. And so balancing our faith and professionalism requires wisdom and commitment to biblical principles while respecting workplace norms. Sometimes we get a bit pushy, we start to overdo things, and we are not being wise in how we take our approach. So one of the first things we can do is demonstrate integrity and ethics. And some practical steps for this is 1, be honest in simple tasks like reporting your work hours, You know, reporting expenses if you're in finance, or if you have to report performances, report it honestly. Do not add, do not subtract. If you're reporting your own, do not add. If you're reporting for someone who you think don't like you, or you don't like those people, you feel like you can deduct to make them look bad. No, we don't do any of that. And we give credit where it is due and avoid workplace gossip and deception. The gossip sometimes might be juicy and sweet, but keep yourselves out of it. And then we have stand firm against unethical practices, even if they are commonly accepted. Just a moment. All right, so the next one is living out Christian values in a professional setting. So some ways to demonstrate this is by 1, treating colleagues with respect regardless of differences in faith, culture, or background, and maintain a positive attitude, avoiding negativity, complaining, or workplace drama. Be reliable. Again, we are hearing this one. Be reliable. I want 10 people to type, be reliable. 10 people, type be reliable in the chat. Very important. Deliver on promises, meet your deadlines, and exceed expectations. And show compassion and willingness to help others without expecting anything else in return. Sometimes whatever we do for people, we believe that because I did this for you on the job, you are obligated to do something back for me. But just give and it will come back to you. May not come back in the way you want it to, but it will come back. And then we have avoiding workplace compromises that conflict with your faith. And Romans 12, it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to rest and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. It is easy to follow workplace norms, but we have to take a stand and stand firm in our faith. And especially for example, in China, many of us, when we apply to come to China, there's some way or not, they'll ask your religion. And many times, especially if it's your first time coming to China, people don't want to put Christian or Christianity because they are afraid that it might cause some bad treatment or cause some form of persecution, or it might come back to haunt them. But you cannot be ashamed of your faith, and they have put it there for a reason. Because if you don't put it and then something happened, then they say they didn't know you were a Christian, then you can't say anything. Once you get an opportunity to declare yourself as a child of God, you should do it boldly, and God will take care of the rest. It is not always negative. All right, so let's look quickly at some workplace challenges and how to overcome them. So we have pressure to lie or manipulate information. And what you're going to do? Choose honesty. Workplace gossip and negativity. What we're going to do? Speak words of encouragement and be positive. When you're asked to work in unethical practices, just kindly decline, stand firm in righteousness, say, no, I'm sorry, but I cannot do that, or simply, that's against my religion, that's against what I believe, I will not be able to take part in that. Sometimes we have to find a polite way. The next one says, fear of openly practicing faith. It doesn't mean you're just going to go everywhere and start shouting hallelujah and Jesus everywhere you go. But be wise, but not ashamed. Be wise, but not ashamed. As the word of God says, be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, because we do not want our good to be evil spoken of. So some ways to handle pressure and temptation. 1, pray for strength and wisdom before facing challenging situations. Seek counsel from fellow believers. Sometimes we are afraid to share what we are going through. But if it's even one person we can find to share what we're going through with and seek counsel from them. And then thirdly, politely but firmly refuse to participate in practices that go against your faith. Sometimes some people can be very persistent. Come on, it's just one time. You can do it. Just no. Be polite, but firm. Eventually, they'll get the message. All right. Then the next point under faith in the workplace is being a light in the workplace. Ultimately, our goal is to reflect Christ and inspire others through our work ethic, character, and relationships. You know, we don't always have to preach a sermon, but our lives can be the sermon that we preach sometimes. And some practical ways to shine as a Christian in the workplace includes maintaining a spirit of gratitude and joy, even in stressful situations. Show empathy and offer to pray for colleagues in times of difficulty. And lead by example. Be the most diligent, be the most honest, be the kindest person in the workplace. And again, if it's at school, if it's outside in the market, wherever you are, wherever you work, whatever you're doing, be the best and lead by example. All right, so in the next section, I'm just going to look quickly at some time management tips. So, biblical perspectives on time. Time is one of the most valuable resources God has given to us. How we manage our time reflects our priorities, discipline, and commitment to honoring God. As Christian professionals, balancing faith, work, and personal responsibilities require wisdom and intentionality. It's not going to happen by chance. We have to be intentional. We have to be deliberate in what we're doing. And the Bible provides key principles on the importance of time management. So 1, time is a gift from God. So what we can do, ask God for wisdom in scheduling daily tasks. Set clear goals aligned with God's purpose for your life. And be mindful of distractions that take time away from meaningful work and spiritual growth. Number 2, we have stewardship of time as a God-given responsibility, which we will see in these verses. Please make sure you take this PowerPoint and go through the verses. All right, and in terms of practical application, we can start the day with prayer and commit our plans to God. You know, some people don't understand that every day you pray, you have something new to pray about because it's a new day. We don't know what lies ahead, and we need to commit the day and our activities in the hands of God. We can also identify time-wasting habits and replace them with productive routines. And if we're honest with ourselves, we know what our time-wasting habits are. Whether scrolling on the phone, whether chatting with friends, whether sleeping, whether, you know, whatever, we know what it is. And also we can set boundaries to prevent unnecessary distractions. Then number 3, we have prioritizing what truly matters. Set specific times for prayer, Bible study, and worship. Use a schedule to allocate time for work, rest, and personal development. and regularly evaluate how you're spending your time and adjust as needed. Very simple, but it takes commitment. And number 4, we have avoiding procrastination and time wasting. Identify common distractions, use productivity techniques like the Pomodoro technique, which is working in focused intervals. For example, you might work for 25 minutes, you can rest for 5 minutes, and break large tasks into smaller, manageable steps to avoid feeling overwhelmed. And then number 5, resting without guilt. So when you're taking a break, when you're sleeping, or you're just taking time off, you should not feel guilty that you're slacking off or you're wasting time, because you would have put in the work when you were supposed to put in the work. So now that it's time for rest, you feel comfortable resting and you're not worried about not doing something that you should have done. The Bible stresses a lot about rest. From the establishing of the Sabbath, work 6 days, you rest on the 7th, you need to take some time off to rest, all right? And don't feel bad about it. All right, so some practical time management strategies. We have 1, prioritizing tasks, urgent versus important. And because of my time, I'm not going to get into all the details, but you need to determine what is urgent versus what is important. And we have here urgent and important. Handle these tasks immediately. Important, but not urgent. That's what you do next. You have urgent, but not important. You deal with it accordingly. And if it's not urgent and it's not important, get rid of them. All right. And so you start each day by identifying these 3 priorities. Then we have setting realistic goals and deadlines. For example, students might want to say, I want to write 5 pages in 1 day. And you know that's not possible for you. You know, and then when you don't meet that deadline or that goal, you start to stress yourself. You know, be realistic, know what you're capable of, and set your goals and deadlines accordingly. And here I have the SMART goals framework. Be specific, create measurable tasks, achievable goals, be relevant, and time bound. So the deadline to maintain accountability. And review it to make sure you are on track. And if it's a big project or a big assignment, break them into smaller portions. You can also use tools like calendar and task lists. You can use a digital or physical planner. You can create a to-do list. On my phone, I always have a to-do list, whether it's for shopping, things that I need to do throughout the day. I always have a to-do list, because when I feel like I will forget, and that's the main reason. I don't want to forget anything. All right. And then we have time blocking. You set time for certain things and commit yourselves to it. And then you can set reminders. Again, the phone, I'm always setting reminders, setting the alarm. All right, then we have managing distractions and staying focused. Identify your biggest distractions and set boundaries. And we can use some of these techniques that I have here, the Pomodoro technique, deep work sessions where you identify when you have distraction-free period. For example, I am a stay-at-home father right now. I know in the mornings, nobody's at home. I use that time to do certain work that I cannot do when the kids and everybody else is at home. And we have apps that can help you as well to block certain websites in case you get distracted and try to pop over to Facebook. All right, so balancing work, faith, and personal life. Schedule regular prior Bible study routine. Set aside time for family, friends, and personal well-being. And learn to say no to commitments that do not align with your values and priorities. All right, so and I'm wrapping up shortly. So I'm going to look quickly at some 3 workplace productivity tips. We have one, working with excellence. Working with excellence. And Proverbs 22 says, verse 29 says, do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. So develop skills and continue to learn. Seek mentorship and professional growth. Being proactive and taking initiative. Maintain a strong work ethic and discipline, staying updated with relevant work and related trends and knowledge. Then we have 2, develop effective work habits. Eliminate distractions, establish time blocking, communicate effectively, very important, set clear goals, use technology, and practice self-discipline and consistency. And then the 3rd one is ethical decision-making at work. Uphold integrity, handle workplace challenges with wisdom and prayer. Remember, we are children of God. Be a light in ethical dilemmas. Do not take sides, especially if it's your friend. Seek counsel from godly mentors and leaders, not just from any and everybody just because they have a title or a position. And stand firm in faith despite workplace pressures. Promote honesty and fairness in all interactions. So that's my workplace productivity tips. And now I'm just going to give you 3 relationship management tips. First one is build healthy workplace relationships. Don't create an environment where people don't like you. You're carrying grudge or malice. You know, the Bible says if it's possible, as much as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Respect cultural diversity, especially in an international setting that most of us are in, and practice active listening and empathy. Don't always want to be the one to speak. Listen sometimes and have empathy. Then we have managing conflicts biblically. Remember, we are in the world, but we are not a part of the world, so we cannot follow their standards. Okay, so handle misunderstandings with grace and humility, and seek reconciliation and forgiveness, especially if you know you were the one that was wrong. Don't hold it out and try to prove a point. And then we have finally, be a witness through your relationships. Again, you don't always have to preach a sermon. You can build a good relationship with the people around you and share the love of Christ and the gospel of Jesus Christ to them. So share your faith through actions and conversations. Support fellow believers in the workplace and pray for colleagues and leaders whenever you get a chance. Take advantage of that chance to pray for someone at your workplace. You never know the impact that you have. So in conclusion, balancing faith and professionalism is not only possible, but essential for thriving as a Christian professional in today's marketplace. By striving for both spiritual and career excellence, managing our time effectively, boosting our productivity, and building strong Christ-centered relationships, we can make a meaningful impact in our workplaces and beyond. Remember, our work is a reflection of our faith, and by aligning our actions with God's purpose, we can shine brightly and be a testimony of His love and excellence in all that we do. So let us live today with a renewed commitment to purpose, to pursue both our calling and career with passion, integrity, and grace. And that is it. Thank you all. I now hand over back to the moderator.
Amazing, amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother Adrian. Family, let us show our gratitude in the chat box. Let us appreciate Brother Adrian for that heartfelt presentation. We have learned a lot. This was a very special presentation because it applies to everyone. Because one day you're going to have a boss, one day you're going to have a colleague. Either way, you're going to work with somebody, and we were being told something that is very important because we need it. We need it. So we thank you so much, sir. And now we are going to go to the next segment. And the next segment is going to be questions. Yes, we're going to have questions from the audience. So now it's more like a discussion. We can have a question, and maybe someone in the audience, in the chat, is got an answer. They have a way that they have seen how it can be dealt with or how it can resolved. So feel free. Maybe something that you met before and you have dealt with it in your own way, or maybe you have had someone dealing with it. Do not hesitate. Take your phone, go into the chat box, write whatever means or whatever way you know of dealing with this. So, and for those who have questions, who were waiting for this very part, you can still send your questions to the inbox of the name tagged info desk, or you can just send them in the chat box directly, or you can also send it to me, and I'll read it out loud so that people can answer them. So I'm going to invite our speakers again so that they can help us. So just get ready, get your mics unmuted so that you can be able to answer. And please let us be time conscious. If possible, let us just maybe use 2 minutes. If 2 minutes is not possible, or if it's too much, let's just get directly to the answer. Can I beat my boss? No, you can't. We go to the one. Okay. Can I do this? Yes, you can. And then we go to the next one so that we can keep to our time. Okay. So our very first question for today, the first one that I had, actually, I think it was answered if the question came from someone who was paying attention. They said, what does this mean to work with all your heart as if you're working for the Lord? And if you were listening the way that I was listening to the presentation of my brother Adrian, I'm sure you have been already answered. Am I lying? If I am lying, you can indicate and we can go ahead and answer it. But if you were attentive, I'm sure you know that this question has been answered already. I think it came before the presentation. And the next question I have is, how can Christians maintain a high standard of excellence in their professional lives? Again, I think this question has been answered. Brother Adrian gave us nuggets. So, someone came to this seminar ready to have these questions answered. They wanted it to be, to all those answered. And the Holy Spirit just spoke to Brother Adrian before he came and told him that, you know what, include this. So that question has been answered. If you want to extend it, you can as well send the version in the chat box. And then the next one I have is, what advice do you have for Christians who feel discouraged or undervalued at their workplaces, their studies? What advice? Okay, I'm going to post it in the chat box. What advice will you give to those Christians feel I'm discouraged, I'm undervalued, I'm not appreciated? Yes, to you, Brother Adrian and Brother Indo.
All right. go ahead with this one, since I believe I kind of have given some tips on this as well, because this would come under doing it as unto the Lord. Because sometimes when we're doing our work, if we're seeking to please man, they will never be satisfied, and we will never feel like we are doing enough. So once we are doing our best and we're doing it as unto the Lord, the people around you might not recognize you, but God will recognize your hard work and will give you the promotion, even though if that means a promotion to another job at a different location. So don't just be hopeless and feel like the people around are not seeing you. Sometimes you'll be surprised. The people who you think are not seeing you, they have been watching, they just haven't been expressing it. So just continue to do your best and just work unto the Lord. Don't just see it as I'm just doing this for the money, but do your best in everything that you do. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Endo, do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
I think my colleague Adrian has already answered that question about Christian feeling discouraged or undervalued. I think it's not just only Christians sometimes who feel that, who have that kind of emotional feeling. It's something that is just generally in the workplace or even at your studies. So I think self-motivation, and as a Christian in particular, you know that God is always with you. So, but I see a second question. If you don't mind, I can go to it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. With Christians, sometimes we tend to want to be, humble, and when you get humble, they get you crashes. Thank you so much. So our next question is going to be, we have another one in the chat box before I go to my own notes. We have a question from Sister Martina. She says, do we need to make different reasons for different job applications? Yes, my sister, we do. But I'll leave this to Brother Endo. Maybe he can shed more light in the patterns of doing that. Yes.
Okay, I just go straight into that. Beth has already spoken, our moderator. Yes, you should prepare different resume for different jobs, because they may need different requirements, and it means that you are going in. You're going to have a chronological resume, because if you were trying to do the former the other resume, you should be, you're going for that because exactly you have that particular skills and you're going for a specific job. So you can always maintain a specific resume, and if that job is not your type, you can skip. So writing a different resume for different job, if you're just job searching for whatever kind of job you may have, then you should do that. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Say. This one, I'll direct it to Mr. Adrian. This question goes for someone who feels I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. How do I discern which career paths to follow? This is interesting. Yes, Mr. Adrian.
Let me see the question again. For someone who feels that they are talented or can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay. This comes with a lot of prayer, like focused prayer. And when in my country we have this saying, you can be jack of all trades and master of none. So you have to have something that you focus on. All right. So for example, myself, I am a foreign language, I don't even want to say specialist, but I did a Spanish, and I'm a Spanish and French double major. I did my degree in Chinese interpreting and translation. In Bible college, I did Greek, and I even went back to teach Greek for a year. And somebody say, oh, you're a linguist, and I've learned other languages on the side, you know, and oh, you must be good at all of them. Well, currently the language that's my dominant language now is Chinese. And what I can do in Chinese, I cannot do in, say, French or Spanish right now. There was a time when Spanish was my dominant, French was my dominant language, second language, you know? So you have to really narrow it down to the one that you love the most, the one you're most passionate about, the one that you feel the Lord is really leading you into, you know, because God is not going to lead you in all directions at one time, you know, and sometimes you're good at several things and it's for a period of time in your life. There was a period when I was an English teacher, and there's a period when I was a Spanish and French interpreter and tour guide. There's a period when I was a Chinese translator and interpreter, and now I'm doing a Chinese lecturer. So sometimes you're good at it, but it's not forever. It's for a period in your development. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't know if Brother Endo wants to add anything to that.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Wow, that is very, very motivating. Actually, very motivating for that brief explanation of your bio. We really appreciate you sharing this with us so that we know if we should widen our horizons, so that if we know, should we pursue this talent that we have, will it feed us tomorrow? Will it be a benefit tomorrow? Thank you so much, sir. The next question that I have is saying, how does networking apply to career building? How does networking apply to career building? Like, what's the connection between the two? Networking and career building. What's the connection between the two? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, it's from me, Brother Endo.
Either of you can take it, and both of you can also take it. Anyone who wants to take can take it.
I'm not
Brother
sure
Endo.
I'm not sure if I caught up on that question because the system went off and then came back. All I heard was career building and networking. Is that where we are?
Yeah. That's actually like, what's the connection between networking and career building? What's the connection between the two? How does one lead to the other, or how does one help the other? No, networking around and then career building, I think.
You know, that the word networking and in itself compared to career building, these are like a pair of scissors, you know, and actually both of them each of that you know, the clips are helping each other to move forward, to do the job. So career build, before you network, it is good that you have some skills that you want to use in the workplace. And once you have had that workplace, now, you know, it comes up to like these two must move together. So you cannot be like a zombie at the workplace. You're gonna try to, you know, associate yourself. I think Brother Andrian has already spoken with that about workplace, whether you're a Christian or non-Christian, or, you know, this applies to everyone, you know, and those two things are like a pair of scissors. So networking will carry you higher, you know, and your career too, but you need career for that. So, but more networking in the workplace and even in the, among, you know, globally with friends, whether it's virtually, whether it's physically, you know, keep your networking high. Though in Africa, it is mostly looked in a different terminology. They're calling it corruption because it is not well practiced. But in the developed world, networking is a very important tool for you to associate yourself with the right people, like, I think that's it. So thank you very much. That like a pair of scissors, you should practice both ways. So back to you, my friend.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Endo. Thank you, Brother Adrian. I'm sorry. It is because of time. I don't want to be fired. You see, this job that they have given me today, I want to hold it with both of my hands. So I have to keep to time. But thank you so much for helping us with those questions. And thank you, everyone who have brought their questions up. I'm sure even if you didn't bring your question, you were answered by fire, by force. You have the answer and you know what you're supposed to do. You know how you're supposed to communicate, how you're supposed to do. So right now, I'm going to pass this time to my dearest brother Sylvester. Are you there? Yeah, he's there. Brother Sylvester, may you kindly give us the vote of thanks? And after that, I'll hand over to Pastor. I think right about now, my time is finished. It has been nice being with you guys. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, our wonderful MC. On behalf of the LOC for Career Seminar 2025, we want to thank God for making it possible for us to meet here tonight. We want to thank our speakers. We want to thank the MCC family. We want to thank our wonderful MC and all other people that make it possible for them to be here tonight. Now that you have learned how to prepare your resume, you now know how to manage time, you now work with integrity, I want to assure you, you are going to shine in the marketplace. This year, Career Seminar has come to an end. I want to thank you all. God bless you all. I hope all what you have learned, you put it to practice. Thank you all. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Sylvester. And we're going to invite the pastor. Pastor, are you there?
Yes, definitely I'm here. Please, am I audible and can I be seen? All right, I don't even know where to start, but I would like to say a very big thank you once again to our guest speakers. Bro Hadrian, good to see you. It feels like you're still in Changchun. Are you sure you're not in Changchun? Because you're using this background where you're in Changchun. We definitely missed you. And thank you for making our time out of your busy schedule with Ethan and Zach and Mrs. Lindsay to share with us today. All right, God bless you. And please pass our lovely regards to them. And to our big brother, I love to call him Dr. Hendo. All right, thank you so much for making our time. What he has shared with us today is perhaps over 30 years of wisdom, experience, and learning. And he has been a great blessing to us. And of course, these conversations is still going on within our networking sessions on Friday, which we have just one more Friday to go. All right, and I will encourage us to be a part of it. All right, we have come to the end, but I would also like to say a very big shout out to the LOC that made today a great success. I mean, within a very short time, putting all this together. All right, please drop a love emoji and a fire emoji to celebrate and appreciate it is a blend. They are a blend of professionalism, excellence, and all that. So we love you guys, and God bless you. And I also want to say Happy Women's Day. All right, today is also Women's Day. All right, so all our amazing women, the MC, the deaconess, the leaders, the JCs, and everyone, every amazing woman here, we celebrate you all. God bless you in the name of Jesus. All right, so we just close with a word of prayer. But whatever you have learned today, all right, I pray in the name of Jesus that the grace to put it to practice, to put it to work, and to produce fruit with it, so that we know that Career Seminar 2025 brought this specific transformation into your life, and you started shining as a light in your marketplace. That grace rest upon us in the name of Jesus. Thank you, dear Father. And that favor goes before you in the name of Jesus. And the wisdom to build the right structures, to manage your time, and to brand yourself so that the right values will be given to you and the right people will start noticing you and they will communicate the value and the honor that is due to you, and the grace to make the right networks in the right relationships. That grace rest upon every one of us in the name of Jesus. Thank you, dear Father, for answering our prayers. For in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen and amen. Glory to God. All right. I believe some QR codes have been shared. They are the network groups that we are trying to build. All right. So if you have opportunities that you want to share with people, you can contact the admin of the group. All right, and share them. God bless us all. I hand over back to you, the MC.
Thank you so much, Pastor, and so much for saying those blessings, and we receive them. Amen and amen. Oh yeah, and happy Women's Day to all the lovely ladies that are here. Wish you the best in your careers. So we're going to take a group picture so that those that are not here can also see my beauty and a few others. So can we kindly open the cameras? Sister Mona Lisa, open your camera. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's open our cameras, guys, so that we can take Brother Love General. Let us open our cameras for the group picture. Who else? Yeah, let's open our cameras. Okay. Okay. Those that are in charge of the group picture. Done. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. All right. Thank you. That is all. And our seminar has come to an end. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Oh, Nana. Maitabasa.